Imagine for a moment you're about to leave the people you love most. Maybe you're on vacation with your extended family. I don't know if those are the people you love most, but what are the last things you say before you head home? Or if you're a parent and you have young kids and you're going out for the night and you leave them with a babysitter, what's the last thing you say to them before you go? That's kind of the situation we see Jesus in John 13 for our reading today. John 13 verses 33 through 35. Let me read them to you. He says, "Little children," and he's not saying this in a condescending way. These are grown-ups, but it's like a term of affection. But we translate it, "Little children, I'm with you only a little longer. You'll look for me, and as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I'm going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment," and this is what he's saying to them as he goes, "that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you're my disciples, if you have love for one another." As I'm hearing this, I'm thinking, why are these his last words? Why is this what he really wants to press on the hearts of his disciples? I'm also thinking, well, Jesus says this is a new command, but actually he's talked about this for quite some time. It's not new as in like the first time they're hearing it. So I did a little digging, and the word in Greek is kainos. And what it means is like it's novel or uncommon or unprecedented. And when I hear it like that, I think, gosh, how crazy. Like we've heard it all the time, but actually that is a novel idea. The world would work better if we all loved one another. And of course, love here doesn't mean a feeling. Like don't feel warm fuzzies towards everybody. It means even when you don't feel warm fuzzies, love each other. Love each other sacrificially in your attitudes and your actions. If you love each other, if you form a community of love, then people will know you're my disciples. Sadly, Christians in the world today are not known by our love for each other, much less for the world around us. Here's my question to you as you read this. Jesus is speaking this to you. Who do you not feel very warm towards that he might be asking you to love with your attitudes and your actions? And what does it look like to show love to that person today? And what are the ways, this is kind of a bigger question, but love isn't just something you like turn on and off. It's someone we are formed into. We are formed into people of love as we practice the way of Jesus. So how are you practicing love in your daily life? What are the disciplines or habits you have, whether it's moments of quiet and journaling and prayer or scripture, or moments of service with people where you're putting on habits that make you a person who's more loving, patient, generous, a good listener, somebody who's able to put the needs of others above yourself? How are you practicing love in your daily life? Because love is like one of those muscles. We're not just good at it automatically. We actually have to grow and strengthen the muscles of love, at least in the way Jesus is asking us to. Let me read this to you one more time, and I'll close with that question. Here he says, "Little children, I'm with you only a little longer. You'll look for me, as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I'm going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you're my disciples, if you have love for one another." Who's it hard for you to love right now? Whose needs is it hard for you to put above yourself? To show up for, to care for, to listen to will the good of this person? Who is that? And how can you actually, tangibly show love like Jesus today? Because that's what it's all about. Those are his parting words when he says, I'm leaving, but here's what you need to know and do. That's how he leaves us, his little children.